CQDX. This is Alpha 71 Alpha United.
Hello, I'm David, M0YDH, and this is my RSGB construction competition entry. Here is my Portsdown 4 digital ATV unit, which I built inside a 19-inch 3U high rack box, and it's an evolution of several of these through the years, and this is probably the one I want to keep. There is also a Langstone. It also runs the Langstone program to have a transceiver for FM and SSB and CW for driving transverters. So there's a encoder for the frequency there. Controls are pretty straightforward. That we're going to be looking at the transmit, receive, changeover options. Receiver's always on, and I can do various routing of received signals, and also switch in the up converter for a 4 meter and 6 meter receive to get it within the passband of the video and receiver. Okay, so if we continue and lift the lid, it's a very full box indeed. Let's hinge the speaker out of the way, and quickly running from left to right, you've got DC conversion over on the side. Power's coming in from there via the main fuse. Here's an audio amp. Zoom in there. This stack has got the Raspberry Pi 4 at the very bottom, and then there's a board from G0MJW for the Langstone transceiver, but I also use it for Portsdown, and that's all the GPIO breakouts, as is this, and there's a real-time clock on there on the top. There's a USB hub there, and then there's a little Arduino board for the encoder, so that it looks like a USB mouse. Right over here, more interestingly, is the RF switches that I mentioned in my entry. So you've got the RF 8-band decoder here, and then the 8-band switch. Down below at the bottom, there's off on the 4 meter line is a small amplifier, just a little one of those cheap game blocks driven by a little relay switch that boosts the almost negligible power of on 4 meters up to 4 meters experimental up to something usable. And then we've got some breakout boards. This bit down here, if I can get it in focus, there it is, focus, is the Ron M0YDH's changeover controller, and it mediates between the band decode board that I pointed out here, where the bits, the control bits for band switching are determined, and over here we've got the 5-into-1 coax switch, which uses transistor to transistor logic high for switching, which is an unusual beast, and they're not very useful normally, so I've taken advantage of a low price, and my friend's done the ingenious bit, and we put them together like that, so it's pretty good. The main radio is an add-on Pluto by Analog Devices, and it's safely inside this box here. This is my up converter that I draw out in my entry, and in this slot here we've got both the mini tuner television receiver, digital ATV receiver, and some routing solenoids for routing the RF between various points, be it the external source should I need to use a different things like these boxes here, these different receivers, or if I want to route the RF received RF to the add-on Pluto. I just pointed it, and then I can use the band viewer, which is an absolutely excellent part of the software. Right, looking down the back plane where the old PCB back plane was in this box, you see my wiring, interconnection wiring, which runs along the bottom of this area here. It's all laced together, and that gets all the lines coming from the computer out to the sorted boards, and also from the changeover controller here round to the coax switch. It's as busy as you might imagine. Here's the back of the unit. Like the front, I've used a vinyl label printed at the local stationers, sort of material you normally use for advertising in windows and around various shops. You could put your own design on it. Pretty handy. Nice. I thought I'll lay everything out as clearly as I can. I've used bolt-on strips for anti-rotation, which is simpler to do. We've got these are the outputs to the PAs, and these are the inputs from the PAs coming into the box, and then the receivers are connected internally, and that's the one antenna, so everything's sorted out during the transmission or receive circuit. Okay, let's press transmit. And we have some action, and we are transmitting into the dummy load, which does radiator fraction, but doesn't set off the car alarms on this street. There we go. And in this case we're transmitting my test card F. Excellent. Okay, there's a receive signal across the bench from one station to another. Okay, connected back to the receive program. Let's see if anybody's there. Fingers crossed. Oh, a DBS lock. Golf 8 Tango Alpha portable is transmitting only across the shack, mark you, but nonetheless that's what it looks like. Okay, I've just selected a relay to switch in the receiver signal to the receive on the Pluto, and here is the Portsdown Pluto band viewer, and there's my main signal on 1255 coming across the shack, just a few milliwatts. So that's very, very useful to making sure there's actually a signal worth decoding when you're out and about portable. And just receiving a television signal, I think, off a repeater somewhere in the distance. You can see the two shoulders there. Very unusual around here. We're very far from a repeater. And the
0. Ignition. Liftoff.
As that Merlin vacuum engine relights, which is not an easy feat to do out in space, to relight a vacuum engine.
There's a Dutch station coming over QA 100 on receive.